Hi everybody. So today I'll be showing you a famous chess game played by none other than the legendary player Bobby Fischer. What is so special about this game? Well, Bobby Fischer was just 15 years old when he played this game, and this was played in the US Chess Championship. He played against one of the strongest players, Samuel Reshevsky. Fischer was playing with the white pieces, and in the opening Black made a terrible mistake and Fisher punished Black with a strong, brutal attack. Let's start with the game. Fisher started with his favorite pawn e4. Black played pawn c5, the Sicilian defense. Fisher continued with knight to f3, knight c6, pawn to d4. So this is an open Sicilian. Pawn takes, knight takes, pawn to g6. Now, this move means that black is going to play the accelerated dragon, one of my favorite chess openings. The reason it has a lot of traps. So we are going to take a look at few of them. Also, this game can be considered as a trap if black makes a mistake. So bishop to e3, bishop to g7, pretty standard moves. Knight c3, knight f6, bishop c4. In this position, Samuel Reshevsky castled, but we are going to look at some of the traps which this opening has. So here, black can simply play queen to a5. This move pins the c3 knight. Now, this pawn is hanging because this is an absolute win. White has three options. One is pawn to f3, the second one is queen to d2, and the third one is castles. Let's take a look at all three options. First, let's say if white plays queen to d2, black has a very good move. If you want to calculate, you can pause the video and think. Alright, so the move is knight takes e4. If white plays knight takes c6, we play queen takes c3. Excellent move. If white takes back with the queen, we take with the bishop, pawn takes, and now we take their knight. And now black is simply a pawn up. After knight takes e4, there's another option which is knight takes e4. Then black just swaps the queens and now knight takes d4. And again, black is a pawn up. So queen d2 is a bad move. What if white plays pawn to f3? Now this is also a bad move. Let's see how. So here, black plays queen b4, attacking the c4 bishop. Bishop moves back so that it has a defender and it also stops the attack on b2. Now again, if you want to think and if you want to find the best move, you can pause the video. Well, the move is knight takes e4. Now, if white plays knight takes c6, we have bishop takes c3, so check, pawn takes, queen takes, king e2, and now d takes c6. If they take the knight, then can you find the move? Yes, you are right. The move is bishop to g4 check, and it's a skewer. White loses their queen. So that's why the accelerated dragon is one of my favorite openings. So f3 is bad and queen d2 is bad. So the best move here is simply castles. Let's get back to the game. In this position, Samuel played castles. Fischer played bishop to b3. So normally when you are playing against a Sicilian and when you play bishop c4, we should always move the bishop back to avoid some tactics. Like knight takes e4. If knight takes e4, then there is d5. So to avoid this, white plays bishop to b3. Now black played knight a5, the worst move possible on the board. And Fischer knew that something is wrong and he started calculating. After spending some time, he played pawn to e5. Now, knight to a5 is bad because of two reasons. First of all, we should never put our knight on the edge of the board because from here it controls very less squares. It is away from the center. You should only play this move if your knight wants to reach somewhere from here, like knight c4, knight e5. Right now, it is not possible, but I'm just saying, in some other position. So first reason is because you should not put the knight on the edge of the board. The second and most important reason is while the knight was on c6, it was protecting the e5 square and stopping this pawn from moving to e5. So Fischer thought Okay, now no one is guarding the square, so I can just push the pawn to e5. And in most of the attacking games, you must have noticed that if the pawn is on e5, it makes it easier to attack the black king, even if it is castled. The reason pawn on e5 just kicks the knight, which is the main defender of black's king side. So here, the same thing happened. Fischer spotted this move. He played pawn to e5. Black played knight to e8. You can pause the video and try to find this move. So the move is bishop takes f7. Here, if rook takes f7, in the game they played king takes f7, but if rook takes f7, then we win black's queen instantly. Can you find the move? The move is knight to e5. Knight attacks the queen on these two squares, and queen cannot move here because of the bishop. If they take our knight, then queen takes queen and we win the queen. So here, rook takes f7 is a bad move. Now, in the game they played king takes f7, and again, the good move is knight to e6 with the same threat of capturing the queen. Pawn takes. If king takes, then also it is a loss, but in the game they played pawn takes, queen takes queen, white wins the queen, and Fischer comfortably won the game. What if king takes e6? Queen to d5 check. King moves to f5. Pawn to g4 check. King takes the g pawn. Rook to g1 check. King goes to h5. And now queen to g2. The idea of queen g4 or queen to g5 checkmate. Let's say if they play this, we have queen g4. And this is unstoppable. So this is how Bobby Fischer punished Samuel Reshevsky for his opening mistake. The accelerated dragon is not a bad opening if you play it properly. If you want me to make a detailed video about the accelerated dragon opening, write down in the comment and I'll make a video. For more such videos, subscribe to the channel.